Hello and welcome to Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda and today it's Free Pattern Friday! Yay! It's Free Pattern Friday. I love Free Pattern Fridays. I don't know why. I'm retired. I don't work anymore. But I have so much fun coming up with cool ideas for you guys for Free Pattern Fridays. So this is a viewer requested show that we're doing. We're going to make pet beds. So you're going to need a long sleeve t-shirt and lots of stuffing, like all your little bits that aren't big enough to throw in your crumb bin anymore. So you're going to need all that kind of stuff to make this pet bed. But first I want to talk to you about Erica Selman. Erica Selman's YouTube channel is going to be in the show notes below, and I have been following her for a very long time. She is off on a beautiful quilting journey, and she makes teddy bears and all this really cute stuff. So my shout outs to her. So if you go check her out and you subscribe to her, tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Now, the other thing is we have a Facebook group also. The link's in the show notes below. We're having a lot of fun there. We're showing all sorts of wonderful quilting ideas, and it's a big sharing happy group. We're also making use of the room feature, so there's a sew date 24/7. Now we've also changed the way we do our sew dates. It's the first Saturday of the month, right, from 9 a.m. to whatever time in the afternoon or evening, depending on what season it is. But if there's a stat holiday that weekend, we move it to the next Saturday. So that's kind of a fun way. You don't have to worry about when it is. And if you go to the Facebook group, there is a link in the show notes, or the notes there for the Facebook group, where you can go there, or the Zoom link is going to be below for our virtual sew date, and giving you the dates, because that's really important. Then you don't have to sit there and like, oh, when's the next one? There's a delay time with the voting, so we decided let's eliminate the voting. So that's how we're doing this now. Share, like, subscribe, because that just helps us out so much. And we're having some wonderful comments from all of you. It's amazing. This is such a great journey for us. So come on in. We'll get this viewer requested pet bed off to a start. We've got some sewing to do. So this is a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt that we got, and I figure, okay, well, we'll try with this and see how we do with this. First thing you're gonna do is turn it inside out. It doesn't have to be perfectly turned inside out. It just has to be kind of turned inside out. And what you're going to do is you're going to find where your sleeves meet, and you're going to run a seam along the bottom to close the shirt, the t-shirt. So now everything can still turn through the neck, but you can't turn anything through the shirt. So we're basically going to go right along here, and I'm going to shorten my stitch length quite a bit. Now you have to have I don't know, not too many little bits to put in. If you put in polyfill or whatever, I mean, that works too. I'm just going to be putting in little bits of scrap. This pet bed will probably end up in the basement, because our cat likes to hang out in the basement with the hubby. So that's all good. I'll get this all sewn up. That's the first thing. You gotta make that bottom sew. Yeah, so you've got kind of a bag thing going. There. And lost a little bit. Okay. Now, before you start making dozens of these and, bringing them down to the pet shelter, check with the pet shelter as to whether or not they even want them. Because some pet shelters don't want beds like this. They're too difficult to work with. You can't wash them really, the best you can do is hope. The best you can hope to do with them is make them kind of hairless, brushing the hair off of them or gathering the hair off of them. So now what I've done is, I've got, this is the bottom, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of these Now you might have to do some hand sewing here. You're going to run, put one sleeve into the other sleeve and shut it, close it, right? So you're kind of making like a bow, you know, just very gently like that. And I see, ooh, this sleeve is already starting to fall apart, but that's okay. It's an old shirt, so it's an old shirt. It's done its time. Maybe I can put, you know what? Yes, I am going to do it that way. I'm just going to put one into the other, and then I'm going to sew the outside. Because basically now you're making a loop, right? And it doesn't have to be a very tight loop, but it should be a loop. Now, ooh, I just broke a needle. Oh no! Okay, we're going to cut so I can get the needle out of my machine. Okay. Hopefully that technical difficulty is over with. So I'm just going to gently, so take your time. There's a lot of bulk here. An awful lot of bulk. Right? So just take your time. Make sure you're not, you know. Okay. That kind of scared me. Kind of freaked me out when that needle broke. It was like, oh my goodness, that hasn't happened in a long time. So now what you want to do is you want to take the center of this piece down here, right? You're going to find the center and you're going to mark it with a pin. Okay. Okay. So here we are. There's our center of our base that we just finished. And this is kind of the center of our cuffs. So we're going to pin this kind of in place. Just kind of in place, right? Just like that. And we're just going to, ease all of this in. Now you can do all of this. Now, as you're sewing this shut, this is going to be a very difficult area to do. So just take your time in between these two pins, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of make this part fit. Because there's a part here that just doesn't fit really well. So we're going to pull this up and make this our pivot point, right? I'm just going to make it fit. That's all there's to it. It's going to work. And if you're doing hand sewing, this would probably work a little easier, but we're just going to figure this out and make do. Okay, and now this, the center of this is about centered there, and, oh, no, yeah, about there. Okay, yeah, so we're just going to pin this in place, kind of. And yes, the bottom is a little bit bigger than the arms, but that's okay. But that's okay, it's fine. You just have to kind of sew it together, and if it pleats on the bottom, it's on the bottom. You don't have to see it. It's all good. Now, okay, and we'll do the other side, and we'll just get that all straight, and we just make a point where it comes up, and it pivots around there. And this kind of goes together right here, like so. Yeah, that bottom area is going to be tough because there's a lot of seam and bulk now. But that's okay. It'll be fine. Now, this, from where the armpit is, where the seam is, you kind of have to guess where the middle is and kind of ease it in. That's all. That's all. This is a matter of easing everything in. So you want to sew from the top, and if you make a pleat, you make a pleat. Don't worry about it. It's a pet bed. Nobody's going to condemn you for this, right? So, yeah, it's one of those sewing projects you're like, okay. All right, now, let's get this foot done. This foot, and, okay. Oh, this probably should go over a little bit more this way. Okay. Okay. So, while we're here, we're just gonna sew it. Okay, and we're gonna take our time too, because some projects are not happy. Okay, I'm just gonna put that down, move this out of the way. There's a little bulky bit that's coming, but that's fine. There. There we go. Okay, here. I just sewed over a pin. Never sew over your pins. And if you do, do it very slowly or hand crank it over so that it will gently go in. Right? Okay, there. And you pull your pins out as you go. This takes a while sometimes. It's like, wow. Am I out of bobbin? Yes, I am. Well, no wonder it started sewing so great. Okay, let's pull that out. Of course, something like that has to happen. You'd bet money on this. I lose bobbin chickens so often. It's like I'm shocked and horrified. Something's gone wrong when I do win. Okay. All right, let's start this again. Yeah, I lost bobbin chicken. How many times here? Okay. Okay, there. And we'll just get that top and bottom thread off. So, the best part about these pet beds is stuffing them. Which sounds really strange, but it's true. Okay, let's get that all the way around and under, up and under. There we go. Now this is where we start to turn into the base. Alright, so this is where you have to go a little slower. And a little more patient with your machine. There we go. Okay. And, oops, okay. Okay, now you're coming up to that cuff area, and there's a lot of fabric there. Take your time. There we go. Get that center pin off. There. Get, ooh. Oh, that's not very nice. Look at this. I went to pull that pin out, and the only thing I took out was the head. Let's get the rest of that out before I run over it. There, I broke it. Well, that's weird. Okay, that's good. Now I'm just putting a rough, because by the time this is stuffed, you're not going to see this seam here that I'm working on, right? So we just want to get that sewn up. It's like 1/2 inch or so, you know. And we're getting to the next pivot point. Okay. There we go. Nice and slow. Slow and steady wins this. Okay. Get that out of the way. Hopefully my head's not in the way. We're starting this new camera angle, or newer camera angle, and we're hoping for everybody it's working out better. Okay. There we go. Down and pull out that last pin. And there we go. Now the hard part of the sewing is done, right? And it wasn't really all that hard. It's not that hard. Okay, so all the hard part of the sewing is done now. So what we're going to do is we're going to start stuffing this. And we're only going to stuff it up to about this part, right? So you want to, you know, it's like only like a third, 2/3 of the way. That's where we're going to stuff it. So I'm just going to get this out of the way. And I'm going to grab my bag of scraps and hopefully not make too much of a mess. And we're going to put all this stuff through the hole, the neck hole, the neckline. So, and you don't want to overstuff it. You don't want it to be hard because you want it to be more soft. And there we go. Now, if you were using polyfill or something like that, that would probably be easier for you, but you know, it is what it is. So let me finish the stuffing and I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so here we are. We've got the belly full. So now we want to get this under the sewing machine again. And what we need to do is we're going to sew. Now I've pinned this while someone else was holding it. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to get a line from armpit to armpit and that we're going to sew shut. Okay, go back and forth a bit and pull your pins out as you go. Now, and don't overstuff it because that would be bad. There. There we go. There. And all I did was I got my husband to hold it up and then I just pinned along the fold. Because once it's heavy, you can put your fingers in and just stretch it like that. Yeah. Okay, but not too much. Never put too much in because you don't want a hard round bed. You know, you want just a softer bed. Okay. And once we get to this armpit, okay. There, now. Okay, now we're going to cut this and we're going to stuff the arms, both top and bottom, or like both arms, to make it come up and around, right? So that's where it's going to be easiest. Okay, and because then once it's stuffed, it'll stand up like this, right? So that's where we kind of want to be. So let's get this bag of scraps up here because, wow, these just, they're everywhere. So, okay. I wonder if I can get my husband to come back and help, but he obviously took off. That's okay. So now we want to go all the way down to the wrists, right, with this. Okay. And this you can pack a little firmer because that's going to hold your pet up, right? So we just pack it in a little bit firmer. Yeah, I've got lots of scraps here. Hang on. Okay, let's get some down on the other side while we're here. Yeah, there's going to be scraps everywhere in this house. Little scraps of this and that. Oh, and if you have catnip juice or the spray catnip, you know, the first few times your pet wants to use it, especially if it's for a cat, spray a little catnip on it. They love it. They love their little catnip hit. Okay. 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 Here. Oh, okay. Oh, what have I done? Got everything here. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, I save all these little bits and then I never know what to do with them. And then I go, oh, I know, we can do this, or we can do that, or we can do... There's people that they get a big bag of bits like this right away and they make something like a pincushion or something like that right pronto. Okay. We're just about finished stuffing this, so let's get this more aggressive stuffing going on. There. Now, if you stuff too hard, what's going to happen is it's going to be harder to close, right? Now, you see how that starts to... Oh, jeez. We're going to have to sweep after this. By the time you get, it gets too big, and this has to stay loose enough so you can sew, the neckline has to stay loose enough so you can sew it shut, right? Okay, so remember that. Don't stuff it too full or hard. Okay. This whole OCD thing's kicking in. Oh, look, I got a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, now... Now, there's people that do these by hand, and they're really good at doing hand sewing like this, but this I think would bug me to do by hand. Okay, so I think that's pretty much, we're pretty much there. And I know this is not your idea what you thought you'd be watching today, but hey, you know, here it is. Okay. So I think that's enough for now. We're going to put all the little bits hopefully kind of back in the bag because, wow, they're all over me now. And all over the floor. And all over everything. Just because. Okay, so we're going to make sure now we're going to pick this all stuff up. Okay, there. Now this will settle in place. The center will settle. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pin this so that we can say where it needs to be shut. Okay. Okay, so, and I'll get that yellow thing that's coming out. And some people, they sew them so that they shut like this. Right, like this, and I'm like, yeah, no, we can just sew it this way. Because, yeah, one, you don't want to be washing these beds. The best you can do with this bed is to put, you know, a roller lint brush or something, or scrape off the excess cat hair, because this, if it goes into your washer, because you use fabric scraps, all it will do is get hard, right? So that's probably where you make yet another pet bed. Right, so okay, let's get this under the needle and finish this off. Then we get to our big ta-da moment with 100 pieces of stuff going everywhere. Okay, let's get this. Okay, there. And I'm gonna need a little bit of elbow grease to get this done. Backwards and forwards. Oh. Okay. Okay, we're just about at the halfway point. Oh yeah, this pet bed's not going anywhere. Okay. Yeah, surprisingly, those scraps, once they're in there, they're kind of heavy. Oh, I just ran over a needle. Not smart. And last little bit. There we go. And now we have our big ta-da moment. Hey Albert, do you like your new bed? Yeah. Mom sprayed some catnip spray on it. And it's a little jar, and there wasn't any in to spray, so I opened it up and I dumped what's left in there. He's kind of suspect because he's not sure why he's on my sewing machine, so it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see if he likes it. Yes, you're not leaving. Well, I hope you have a great day ahead. Oh, he's kind of relaxing about this, so yeah. He's not sitting yet. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you're cute. You're cute and fuzzy. Okay, you have a great week ahead. I'm hoping that you try this pet bed. It's very easy. It's not stressful, really. I mean, you just have to go slow and watch what you're doing. Don't be running anywhere on my thread. Okay, so you take care until then. All right, bye. My husband and I would love to thank you for coming along with us on our quilting journey and the YouTube adventure that we're on. We have some wonderful plans for 2023, and it includes a lot more, like with the Facebook group and the rooms feature and sewing and hanging out with people. Those monthly Zoom sew dates are still in the works. We have a lot of fun ideas coming up for 2023, and we hope you share, like, and subscribe with your friends. That little notification button and subscribing to us really helps us out. Commenting helps us out too. So if you like what you're seeing, let us know. Even send us a heart on the comment. That helps so much for us. Okay, you have an absolutely fabulous 2023, and all of our best wishes for you in the future. Okay, take care. Bye.